What is up, DCS crew? We have a nice, nice and different little knife here today for review. This is the Civivi Knives Mini Mastodon. It is a liner lock with red G10 and a 3-inch stonewash blade. Okay. Yeah, so as I'm sure you can see, it's a bit burly. It's a bit short and stout for it's complete makeup, and it's modeled after a classic kitchen knife. So stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit about the this particular one, which is the Mini Mastodon, part of the Mastodon series, right after the credits. Welcome back, guys. All right, DCS crew, check this out. So this is the mini version of the Mastodon. Now, the Mastodon series contains the full size and the mini version, which I have here. The mini version, it measures just over 7.5 inches. I think it's a 7 and an 8. It's 7.125. We're looking at a 3-inch blade, okay? We're looking at a I want to say it's a 4 1/8 inch handle. Okay, and so overall you do have that 7 1/8 inch, from tip all the way down to the base. That is the overall length of this particular knife. Now, if you're going to compare it with some other knives, I have a couple here. I have the CJRB Crag. Okay, that one was recently reviewed. Really cool knife. If you have checked out my video, awesome. If you have not, what the hell are you doing? After this video, you got to check that out. So let me see here. Here's the Benchmade North Fork, one of my favorite Benchmades, sporting the Axis lock, which is now allowed to be used on other knives since their copyright expired. This is the Kershaw Knives Launch 11 in CPM 154. That's the auto USA made knife from Kershaw Knives USA. Here is another Kershaw that was made here in the USA. This is the bare knuckle. This is the special, the upgraded version. Black scales, black clip, stone washed, CPM 20 CV blade. Awesome blade, awesome price, awesome knife. Guys, get yourself one of these, or at least, at the very, very least, get the 14C28N variant. I mean, you got to do something like that, okay? All right. So aside from that, we have the Spyderco Para 3. Is just a plain Jane Spyderco Para 3 that I did a couple things to. I switched deep carry clip to the MXG gear clip. I did put a sharpening notch there, and I went ahead and I reprofiled the edge, so it's something that's a little bit spicier for me. This is your standard run-of-the-mill S30V version, and I really dig it. Everybody has, all of the other variants that have come out with this. I've wanted to get one, but they're just overpriced. I'm going to be honest. I love this knife to death, but it's overpriced. And then there's the Kershaw Knives, the Concept Knives Cryo. Okay, that's Cryo with a K and Concept with a K. I had the mini version that I went ahead and I did a review with. This is the full-size version in budget D2 steel and micarta handles. Okay, now enough of the other knives. You've seen how they compare to the Mini Mastodon. Let's talk a little bit more about it. So, like I said, it is based on the design aesthetics of a classic kitchen knife, and that is the meat cleaver. Okay. Now, they call it a meat cleaver because, and this is a true story, a vegetable cleaver is actually a little bit more rounded here towards the front and has more of a rounded blade, so you can rock through easier. I actually have one of both, and I actually prefer my vegetable cleaver for both vegetables and meat. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I'm weird like that. It is what it is, okay? So this is a really cool knife. It has 2 deployment methods because of the fact that it has that cleaver homage hole, and you have the standard flipper, and you have this right here that you can kind of just open this way, okay? Very nice, very quiet. Now, the liners themselves are not it's not polished, and neither is the blade itself, and neither are the clips for these knives, okay? And it is tapped for left and right hand carry. It does have a deep carry clip on both sides. It does not have milling inside of the G10 to be able to go ahead and fit the pocket clip to be flush within the G10, but it does have flat screws. So, I mean, you can't win them all, but it's pretty damn close to, everything you want, right? It's a liner lock, accessible on both sides. You can put a lanyard on it, And I really like the look. It's got a stone-washed stainless blade. That stainless blade is 9CR18 MOV. Okay, I originally thought it was D2, but usually when they don't use D2, they use 9CR18 MOV, unless it's one of their large, their more popular variants like the S35VN Elementum that I reviewed a while back. I think they use 154CN in some other variants. And yeah, so in this particular case, this model is 9CR18 MOV. So, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw this knife and I actually requested it from the Apex Pass-Around. Shout out to the Apex Pass-Around. And there's a couple of things that I did want to go ahead and talk about. Okay, first off, there's the grind. Okay, now, if you notice, it's a nice flat blade grind. It's a nice thin stock. The edges are chamfered right here. Beautiful. I'm sorry, excuse me, they're rounded off. So it's like, you feel that there has been a lot of work that's been put into this particular knife. Okay, and let me tell you, it is a slicing machine. It has the finger choil here that allows people who feel that they want to choke up a little bit more to the blade, okay, and get that nice close feel to the blade. Guys, this is, after I started to see the little intricacies of this particular knife, I started to think about what it was that they had put together, and it was much more than I had seen aesthetically just from first glance. And I started to fall in love with this guy. I mean, now granted, it's already a looker because it has the red G10. They have different variants. If you don't like red, they have black. I think they have green. They have a couple other variants. Depending on how it sells, they might even have different steel variants. But for now, they have the red G10. We'll just say that this is the red G10 with the red backspacer here towards the bottom, okay? Now, the inside has been milled, okay? There are 3 relief cuts inside for weight savings on the show scale. And then on the clip side, okay, there are 2 small relief cuts that are right behind the liner lock. So you have the liner lock, and then behind here, okay, the part that actually, you know, houses the rest of the frame inside of the knife, that stainless liner is actually has 2 relief cuts. It has one right here and one right here. So they have gone ahead and they've considered, even for the smaller version of the Mastodon series, to save weight, and that's pretty cool. Now, this came perfectly centered right from, you know, opening it out of the box. It does run on bearings, and it is actually, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty smooth considering I haven't, I've used it, I haven't lubed it. I've just been flicking it around a few times and occasionally just opening it this way, which is a really cool way of opening it so as not to seem like it's, you know, kind of murdery. But I will say that it really grew on me, okay? Now, the only thing that I can just tell you, and this is probably a glaring detail that you can tell already, from the knife, from the front of the knife at its thickest point to the back, you're looking at a little bit more than 1.5 inches. That is insane, guys. That is insane, okay? The blade width itself is 1.5 inches. So you're looking at basically, once it's inside, this is at least 1.5, if not more inches, and that's how much space it's going to take inside of your pocket. Now, I don't know if it's because of the like it being so small that it seems like it's hefty and wide, but it just feels really bulky. And when I initially got it, I put it in my pocket, I couldn't stop like feeling it when I was walking around. It was just one of those things that, you know, I'm used to carrying something that's a little bit skinnier, you know, like the Kershaw Large 11, you know, or even a bare knuckle, that sort of thing. This thing is much chunkier than that of the bare knuckle and a lot of the other knives that I carry, especially, you know, like the Hogue Deca, that sort of thing. But it's not meant to be one of those. It's meant to be something that you feel, and it's meant to be something that you use. And I appreciate it for that because, man, let me tell you, I used it, I stropped it, I used it, I stropped it, I used it, I stropped it. I have yet to actually sharpen this knife, and I have yet to need to. I mean, this is it's an amazing knife, I gotta tell you. Let me see here. Okay, just kind of show you real quick. Okay, just to kind of show you one last time. Okay, so yeah, it is definitely still very, very sharp. And obviously, you know, like most Civivi knives, it does come in, you know, the standard box with the Civivi pouch that, you know, you can take with you wherever you go. You can even pack a non-Civivi knife because Civivis like to play well with others in here, since it has 2 slots for not only your knife and, you know, paraphernalia like your warranty and your sticker, but it has an area here for your other knife. Okay. So let me put this here to the side one more time. Take this out here. Now, my final thoughts. Okay, well, a big con is that it's very thick inside of the pocket, and you're gonna feel it's very wide. Now, it's also very stout, but that could work in its favor because there are other knives that compete for its attention, that kind of attention, and there is a market for this kind of thing. You know, you saw the CGRB Crag earlier. There's the Chris Conway design that is a bestseller through Kaiser, which is the Sheepdog. There's a lot of different knives that fit this particular niche that this is basically pointing its eye to, and it's pointing its hand to, and say, hey man, I can take you guys down, and I can be the forefront because this is a budget knife. Okay, 9CR18 MOV from a company like Civivi that is basically it's Wee Knives, kind of standards, and imposed in a budget knife. And you have a nice thin blade stock, thin in particular for it being a bulky knife. And if you can carry something like a Kershaw Knives mini sheepdog, I got a feeling you're really gonna like something like this. And I think that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to take some of that market away from Kaiser because they realized that that damn knife is selling so well. They have the standard version, they have the XL version now, which is huge. Okay, like Trump huge, like with a Y, huge. And the mini sheepdog, which I had the Way of Knife MI exclusive, and that they are actually also doing a new exclusive of with a kind of a blackened blackwash blade with JG10 scales that looks so badass. And it's a thumb stud user, and they are making a variant with a thumb hole open. But that being said, this is the CGRB, the Civivi Knives mini Mastodon. I gotta say, it grew on me. And if I had to recommend it or just box it up and send it to somebody else, or if I'd sell it on the secondary, I don't think I would do that. This is a unique knife for me to actually say that I really enjoyed, but I really liked the sheepdog. So something like this, coming across my way in the Red G10 in this kind of setup, it kind of said something to me without me realizing it. And I'm glad that I took a second look at this because, if you believe in love at first sight, I guess you can call this love at second opinion, second sight. Okay, so that said, those are my thoughts for this particular knife. This is the Civivi Knives mini Mastodon. Okay. And you can catch this and the standard size Mastodon over at Blade HQ. This particular one is right under $50. This is, I think they put something like $47.75 or something like that. So it puts it in that range of affordability, especially for people who they're workers. They want a knife that they can use, not something they're gonna buy and they're gonna put in a safe just so that they can sell it and make a buck on the the secondary market in a few years, or they're gonna croak and then their kid sells it for pennies to be able to go ahead and afford whatever Nintendo game, PlayStation game, or Microsoft game that they have at that time. Because they're coming out with the PS5 already. Who knows what the hell they're gonna have in the future when your kids get this. So that said, this is probably, with the right care and the right use, going to outlive you and go into your kid's pocket. Would I recommend this? Yes, I would, but you do have to understand that if you're not used to a knife like this, or the CGRB Crag, or the Kaiser mini sheepdog, or the sheepdog, you're gonna have to get used to a knife that's a little bit thicker in the pocket and just feels stout. Now, when you take it out, you're gonna feel a lot more confident because you're gonna feel like you're getting that much more of a feel, like that kind of chunkiness or stoutness of this particular knife. But it is definitely worth a look. And if you are on the fence, guys, go ahead and check this out. On me, I'm telling you, you're probably gonna like it. So if you have one, sound off below. Let me know if you like it or not. If you do like it, tell me why. If you don't, tell me why. I really do want to hear some constructive criticisms about this particular knife and why you chose to either not use it, get rid of it, throw it away, sell it on the secondary. choose not to use it anymore. Okay, but if you do have it, please sound off. Let me know which one you have, which variant you have, and why you like it. Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to go catch me on Instagram. My IG is at Daily Carry Solutions. You can catch me at dailycarrysolutions.com using the contact page, or just sign up below with a question and I will respond. That being said, just remember, guys, whether it's something from CJRB, whether it's Civivi, whether it's from Concept Knives like the Cryo, if it's something that you really enjoy, just remember, if you EDC, think of DCS. This is the Mini Mastodon. I am Carlos. You've been great. Take care, guys. Peace.